All right. Well, welcome everybody to a chat with castles, capes, and clones. This is our live show that we do on Thursdays after Wing Night with Two Tiny Wings. So if you're here from there, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing well as well. I think maybe just wait a moment to see if we get. Here we have William. Hello, William.
Hello.
Welcome.
It's been
Uh,
a good minute since we've talked.
yeah, I'm sure that there are going to be other people coming in from Wing Night because I was just there. And anyway, yes, people want you to have a shirt that says Cousin Rich. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a good site to do that.
Then I
So
want
far,
one that says "Boop is life."
boop is life.
So Alexis from Schitt's Creek,
Ah,
and that's Schitts. It's an Irish name, people.
I it's funny. Like, I'm doing a whole new bunch of videos from Disneyland. So
Hmm.
I am now. Well, I did one, but like from now on, I'll be introducing myself as Cousin Rich.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
hey kids, Cousin Rich here from Castles, Capes, and Clones.
I think that's awesome. Anyway, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. Hit that bell for notification, and do like this post. It really helps with the algorithms and things like that. To make us be found more. So it really does help, and it's very easy to do. So
Spoof.
we'll go with that. Yeah. Boop.
Yep.
All right. Well, the way that we divide up the show is that we have main discussions, and then Rich and I have our own discussion points to go through. And we always like to start with the main discussion. Uh, the What was I going to say? I was going to say something, and it totally left my brain.
I don't know.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. That, but we really like this to be, interactive, and we love for you guys to hear from you guys. So if there's anybody else in the audience that has just joined us, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And William, do you happen to know, were they done over at Wing Night, or let's see if William knows.
Delay. Give them
All
this.
right. Yeah, they probably ran late. They were doing a um like a contest of who was the scariest villain, and it was very interesting because Frollo was the leader from the beginning. Like we
Hmm.
did Ursula, Frollo, Scar, Frollo, Jafar, Frollo, Maleficent was the one that I was the last one on. Ah, here we
There you
are.
go.
Yay! We were just talking about that. Rich, repeat what you were said about the cousin Rich thing.
Oh, yeah. So the new videos I'm working on for when I go to Disneyland, I'll be introducing myself as Cousin Rich from Castle, Capes, and Clones. And yes, I am
Yay!
working on a shirt that says Cousin Rich. Uh, so when Lauren goes to Disneyland and I'm there, I'll wear that shirt.
Yes, excellent. Oh, Frollo won. Man, I tell you, who knew that Frollo is the scariest Disney villain in the Disney universe.
Hunchback is one of my favorite Disney films.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that he's a scary guy, but it's interesting to see that he beat Maleficent and some others actually. So very
True.
interesting.
Maybe it's
But
because
that was
he's
a lot
like
of fun.
maybe because he's like the realist.
Yeah. And if you aren't watching Wing Nights just before our show, they are at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a good 1-2 punch. After that, come over here and we'll have some more fun. So anyway, with that, we will start our discussion with Disneyland news. There just seems to be a lot of it these days.
Yeah.
One of them is the price increase. They are adding a sixth tier for like the busiest days. And get this, the price of a 1 day, one park ticket in that tier is $164. Now, we just bought tickets for my family to go. A park hopper, 169.
That's a park hopper.
And huh?
And that's a park hopper.
That's a park hopper.
Yeah.
169. So they have really drove the price up. Now I heard that the highest it's ever been is 154. So I guess it's not totally out of the you know insanity, but I just feel like Disneyland is always raising its prices, but you never hear that about Walt Disney World.
True. I think
maybe I'm not paying attention.
I mean, I'm sure both parks have their annual increase, but like one, they take Genie Plus. Like, why is Disneyland's more expensive, right?
Yeah.
And there's only 2 parks, so it's kind of crazy that there's like such a price difference. But like even with this, I think that there's a lot of backlash right now, and this is not helping at all. Because the prices have gone up, but we don't have trams yet. We don't have parades yet. It's not a full experience. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. They still don't. Yeah, they're not. They don't have a full house of cast members, and so because before it used to be that they had to pay the cast members, and of course, who doesn't want to pay cast members?
Yeah.
But it's true. Like they're not doing the parades. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about this, but
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things is that they have sold out of the Dream Key. Oh my God! Hold on. Sorry.
Oop. That's
Sorry. I thought that. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta fix my camera. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just when I think that I have everything down, I don't. But yeah, it is a lot of money, Allie and Pete. Yeah, they have sold out of the Dream Key, which is the highest level key, and I think that is because there have been so many complaints about the Dream Key, people who have the Dream Key who aren't able to make reservations.
Yeah.
Whenever they want to make reservations.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is coming, like, first-hand experience. I started to question whether or not I should have gotten the Dream Key.
Mm-hmm.
because right now there are no weekends available until January.
Yeah.
And that's one of the perks of having the Dream Key was one, no blackout dates. So, the things that some of the lower keys have is like weekends are not there. So,
Mm-hmm.
if weekends aren't available for us, what was the point on getting a Dream Key? Because we can't go on the weekends. We're basically going on weekdays,
Yeah.
which we could have done with a cheaper key.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's some places that say it's sold out. Some people say it's on pause. I think it's on pause. I think they're trying to figure this out because I think, there's so much backlash right now for Disneyland that none of this is like I'm sure they have to sit there and have to rethink things, right? Because you know Disney's prides itself on on service, guest relations, and they're like the people that go to Disneyland, they're getting hit left and right in all different directions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good experience right now.
Yeah. And I know that there is a petition to
Yeah,
get Bob Chapek fired, but I think
I
there's
mean
probably always petition to get
those
Bob
things
Chapek fired.
those things are those things, I think ever do anything. There's always those things going around, but I mean it optics on it do play a part. It doesn't paint him in a good light when that's becomes a news story,
Yeah.
right? There's like you said, there are petitions always going around, but sometimes it doesn't make the news,
Right.
right? And I think because of how fast it filled up, and supposedly it was started by ex Imagineers, um, that there's a lot of eyes on that, and again, price increases, people complaining about the Dream Key,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that petition right now does not look like there's not a lot of good news coming out of Disneyland.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can have a little bit of good news here, but before we do, welcome Meg, welcome Brian and Nia. Thank you so much for
Hello.
coming for the first time. So we
Hey.
really appreciate that. Uh, so there is some kind of light at the end of the tunnel type things in terms of the experience. One of that, which is that their parades may be coming back to Disneyland in November, at least the Main Street Electrical Parade. It is turning 50 years next year. And so I think that they definitely are going to celebrate that. They haven't like officially said they are bringing it back, but they have teased it. I guess on their TikTok.
Yeah.
Although I have not independently verified it.
Well, anyone who's watching right now is seeing the
Oh, they're seeing the thing.
yeah. Yeah, it was on there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, on their TikTok, right?
Well, I got it from their Instagram, but yeah, it's just the shot of the snail, and it says to be continued.
That makes me so
Yeah,
happy. The snail.
it was
I just
funny because like before they made the announcement, I was gonna put that on the news cycle anyway because when I was at Disneyland on Monday, I rode.
Mhm.
Or actually, when did I ride? I rode the monorail. I think on the weekend,
Yeah,
right, for the
yeah.
first
We
time.
saw your
Yeah,
your
that's
story.
when I filmed that little short.
Yeah.
Um, the conductor, when you're pulling up to the station in Tomorrowland, was saying like, you know, uh, he even said like parades are coming back in November. Like I don't know if he was supposed to, because nothing else was said. But I'm like, really? No, I haven't heard that. But like, that was something to look forward to. So I was wondering, in my head, I'm like, I bet you anything's gonna bring back the electrical parade.
Hmm.
Just
The electrical parade is my favorite parade of all time. just because of the nostalgia of when I was younger. But the one I want to watch is Magic Happens.
Was that the
Uh,
one that came out right before
Magic
the
Happens.
pandemic?
Yeah, like it was out for literally 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, it's not even 2.5 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not. I am so bummed because I wanted to go to Pixar night and I didn't buy tickets and it sold out. And had I gone, I would have been able to see Magic Happens. I would have been able to meet Ian and Barley Lightfoot at Pixar Fest right before the pandemic hit.
Uh,
And that's one of my biggest regrets in life. One of my oh boy, look at this. We have somebody that is naughty. Everybody turn their eyes.
yeah.
Um all right. I don't Can we do something about that? I don't know.
Let me see. Hold, please.
Yes.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I can let's see, report. Okay. All right, good. There
That
we
is horrible.
got rid of that intruder.
Nothing to see
Um,
here.
no, it's just so crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing is that trams may be returning in early 2022.
Yeah.
So this entire time, people have had to walk the tram route to go from the parking structure to Disneyland,
Yeah.
and I think people are brimming with hope and excited going there, but then coming back,
Yeah.
it's such a
After
haul.
it's it's such a like walking from there to the park is fine to me.
Hmm.
Because yeah, you're like, ooh, exciting, we're gonna go to Disneyland. But after a full day, that walk back seems endless.
Yeah, I can
It's just
imagine.
like this because there's nothing really on the way there. It's just you're walking the tram route,
Yeah,
so it's just greenery and asphalt. So it's like, and then you have to go like you see the end, like the end of like, the end of the road, but then you have to curve around it,
correct.
and then
Yeah,
there's other stuff. So it's like you see the parking structure, and you're like, we're almost there, but you're not.
yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
funny.
like your feet start to really hurt because you just want to get in your car and
Yeah.
go. But yeah, according to the OC Register, I guess, which is the Orange County paper here, that Disney filed something that they should be operating sometime in early 2022.
Actually, I don't even know why. I mean, like they have fireworks shows where everybody is clustered
Well,
around each other.
that's
It's
another
so
thing, right? That was one
weird.
of the complaints. It's like, all right, we thought it was due to COVID, which we understood,
Hmm.
Though some of us were like, well, they partition off the rides. Can't they just partition off the seats and have like every
Yeah.
other thing? But whatever, we bought into it. But now that the monorail's back, rides are definitely not like spaced out for COVID. There's no reason. Then there was like the rumor that the trams themselves were super old, and then they you just needed to buy new ones. I don't even know how true that is, but there was, and then like I think the problem is like there's nothing coming from the Disneyland side about it, like officially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Um, Allie and Pete said that our intruder was somebody angry about the fact that Frollo won.
Hey man, Frollo's frightening.
And let's all welcome my mom. Hi, mom.
Hi, Auntie.
All right. Another thing that is has been released, so are details to Merriest Nights, which is the Disneyland version of the Christmas parties.
Yeah,
over at Disneyland. And you are going to this,
I am going.
right?
I'm going on the first day, which is the 11th of
Oh,
November.
really?
So it's funny because like the holiday officially starts this holiday season at Disneyland on the 12th, of the day after.
Yeah.
So this, I'm I'm assuming that all the holiday stuff will be up that night. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll get a sneak peek, and yes, I will be filming that and sharing that all with you. But yeah, they recently, because like they kind of like the Oogie Boogie Bash, they kind of just said we're having an event, and it's only like 3 dates or something like that. There's not many. It's only like 3 or 4 nights that they're actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we managed to get the first night, which is exciting, but none of us know what it is.
Right.
Like we did. I mean, we assume holiday stuff and whatever, but they didn't really have a lot of details. But they did release a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be 6 parties around the lands. So Mickey Mouse will be hosting a Victorian themed party on Main Street.
Uh-huh.
Miguel will be hosting a Feliz Navidad party in Frontierland.
Nice.
Tiana will be having a New Orleans themed party in New Orleans Square, of course. And to the delight of my niece, our niece, Elsa will be headlining a Frozen themed party in Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Adventureland, Lilo will be having a island tropical party. And in Tomorrowland, Buzz Lightyear
Nice.
is going to be having a party.
Nice.
So there's going to be music and dancing and, DJs and a lot of food, merchandise, those kind of things. So,
Yeah.
and it's only like a couple hours long. I think shorter than Oogie Boogie Bash. So that's a lot of stuff to do in one night.
I know. 6 parties?
So that's crazy. Like, I know for sure. I mean, the must-dos for our family is going to be Mickey, and Frozen, because our niece is a Elsa fan.
No Coco?
Well, I mean, those are the 2 musts, and then we'll try to do as many as other ones. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't know how much time we're going to have to spend, or what else there's to do there. Like, how long these little party things are.
Yeah, like what are you gonna see and
Yeah.
all that.
And what's cool about at least the ticket, which are expensive, they're like $170 a piece,
Yeah.
is that like the photo pass is included. So I'm prepping my family to be like, we're utilizing as much photo pass as we can.
Right.
If you see a photographer, an official photographer, let's take a picture so we get our money's worth.
Yeah, definitely.
So should be fun. Hopefully, I know there's going to be a lot of like the Disneyland YouTubers I already know are going to be there. So
Oh yeah, I'm sure everybody tries to go the first night.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so that'll be fun. That's on the 11th, so that's in 2 weeks from today.
Cool.
Oh my god, that's crazy. It's already November.
Yeah.
And I'll actually be there on the first day when the holiday starts. So I'm there the next day as well, during the day, to
Wow.
see what it looks like in the daytime with
Yeah.
all the when the official stuff opens. They already started. Like the castle already has snow on it.
Yeah.
And they opened up the photo pass. The old photo pass place is now. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it now. Plaza Point or something like that, which is like the holiday shop now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty.
Yeah, I wish that they would. I wish they would wait until after Halloween to put the snow up on the castle. But
Like,
oh well, you know.
I mean, I remember when I saw it for the first time. I'm like, and it wasn't like this week. It was like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, is that snow already?
Yep.
We're not even 2 weeks to Halloween yet. But here we are.
Yes.
I mean, the Haunted Mansion ride is both Halloween and Christmas, so I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
right? But at least Downtown Disney is still Halloween themed.
My mom says that Olivia, who is my sister, and the boys, which who are my nephews, will be at Disneyland on the 8th of December. And also, your son will also be there.
And
So
also,
we will
your
all be
nephew will
there
be
on the
there.
8th. Yes, yes. And your nephew will be joining us after work, right?
At the very least. Um, yeah, so after work, I'll be there.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so one final news about Disneyland is that it has submitted applications to the city of Anaheim for the proposed Disneyland Forward expansion project, and which will take place over the next 30 years.
Oh,
Now, for
man.
those who don't know what the Disneyland Forward project is, it is they have land that were former parking lots that they want to spread into theme park areas as well as create a like more what do you like elegant downtown Disney-esque kind of like a Disney Springs
Yeah.
where the um current Toy Story lot is.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to
It's a.
see.
It's actually a pretty huge project.
It's a huge expansion.
Yeah.
Huge.
Because it's not only so it's like it's almost like at the same time that they're building at Disney Springs, they're
Mhm.
expanding both parks
Yeah.
out, and like you can see the render on screen. It's a very weird way to do it because if you look, like they're adding a whole bunch of different lands. I'm not sure where the California Adventure Disneyland separation is, but
Yeah.
then like the Grand Californian and Paradise Pier, and even like all the hotels are in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's going to be all in the middle of. So that's going to be really interesting to see how
Yeah,
they do
because
this. And
I almost want to. The Grand Californian is a great hotel. It's beautiful. It's big. It's
Mhm.
awesome. But like, I kind of would if this happens, I would want to kind of stay almost like in Paradise Pier or even like the Disneyland Hotel because it's right in the middle of the
Yeah,
parks. So it
yeah,
seems very exciting. But
yeah.
yeah, they would basically the parks would expand past, encompass all of what is now downtown Disney, but even beyond it. And then looks like Mickey and Friends, like the parking lot, the current employee parking lot for downtown Disney would be also engulfed in this, and then
Hmm.
also the Simba parking lot, which was the old downtown Disney parking lot, or one of them, is also
Yeah,
going to be included in that, and then all of the Toy Story parking lot will be a themed shopping experience. So,
yes,
but yeah, I was thinking like 10, 15 years, but I was being hopeful.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on from all of our Disneyland news, we got a Disneyland release schedule for, I mean, Disney release schedule for 2022. So January 14th is a movie called Deep Water, which I'm not sure if that's going to be a National Geographic one or maybe it's the 20th century. But Death on the Nile is coming February 11th.
And that's the sequel to
Murder on the Orient
yeah,
Express.
We're doing an Express, which I liked, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Then Pixar's Turning Red is coming out on March 11th. There's going to be an Untitled Searchlight movie on April 8th. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is May 6th. Bob's Burgers is May 27th.
That's interesting. Like I didn't even know they're working on
Yeah.
a movie. Is it a movie? I guess they're all movies. Yeah.
I guess yeah, these are all movies. Lightyear, which we'll talk a little bit about in a minute, is coming out June 17th. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. An Untitled Searchlight movie, August 12th. Untitled 20th Century movie, September 23rd. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, November 11th. An Untitled Disney film, November 23rd. And then Avatar 2, December 16th. Is anybody particularly excited about any of these movies? Let us know in the comments.
I'm excited about Untitled Searchlight movie on August 12th.
Yeah, I'm excited about the one on April 8th. So,
should be a humdinger.
Yes.
I'm actually curious what the Untitled Disney movie is, because
yeah,
I mean, animated, live action, like we kind of know what's in production.
Right. I would love it. I would love it if it was animated.
I'm trying to we know that they're working on Little Mermaid and Wendy and Peter. So it's not those, because that's titled. So I wonder, and if it was an untitled animated movie, and it's coming out on like next year, this should have been well in development by now. So it's like, what is it? It's Tron 3.
Allie says that Pete is so excited for Avatar 2. I do not share enthusiasm. It's because he wants Blue Horse. Blue Horse is a pin that I traded them from the Pandora set, and we call him Blue Horse because we don't know what he's called.
I mean, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Avatar. Like like the technology behind it, I was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
But like the story, I was like, all right, I've seen this before. But like the ride, the Flight of Passage,
yeah,
that one. Like after riding it, I was like, this is like it's such a good ride. I
still need to see it. I still need to go on it.
And it's like one of those rides where I was scared to go on it because I can't do Soren.
Yeah.
But you know, because you're so strapped into that ride vehicle that I was fine. As long as I know that I'm like locked in, I'm okay with things. Where Soren's kind of like a seatbelt, and you're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But you know, that's Avatar 2 of like 8. I don't know how many.
I know.
I think he's working on 4 movies.
I think so. I think it is 4 movies. So.
Like that must be one epic story. I hope it branches off from Fern Gully.
Yeah. Hi Val, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And yes, Mom, The Eternals is a Disney movie. It's Marvel, and Disney owns Marvel. Ali says that Flight of Passage is insanely good. Pete yelling Savako during the ride is a lot to take. I'm assuming Savako is something that you say on the ride. Oh, hi Nina, how are you? Welcome.
Hello. Yeah, it's been a while since I saw Avatar, so I'm assuming that's a Avatar thing.
Yeah. Nina is excited about Avatar too.
Yes. Now, do we know? Like, he's working on them concurrently, right? Like, back to back to back to back, like Lord of the Rings style.
They're all supposed to be.
So I wonder if like Avatar. I wonder if it's gonna be a yearly thing, like Lord of the Rings was, or you remember when Back to the Future 2 and 3 came out? It was like Back to the Future 2, and then 6 months later, Back to the Future 3.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be coming out that frequently.
I also said that because like there's 4 of them. Like, are we gonna wait 4 years for all of them?
Yeah. Oh, it means rise to the challenge.
See, now I have to remember that next time we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna try to go this week. So, this year or 2022, I plan on trying to go because I do want to
Yeah.
be there for the 50th, at least part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think uh the Avatar movies are kind of you're either gonna be excited about it or you're not. And I'm actually more excited about it than I was before.
Hmm.
If that makes any sense. Like I think because of World of Pandora and the excitement around that and just I don't know. I'm just a little bit more excited about it. So um Val says she's super psyched for the Doctor Strange, Thor, and Wakanda Forever. My three favorite Marvel. Nina says hear I can't hear you mention BTTF
Back to the
three.
Future.
Oh, Back to the Future 3 without saying how that's my favorite movie. Love the Mad Dog Biff Tannen. And
Let them have their sissy party.
Meglet says Avatar was okay, but it was basically Pocahontas dancing with wolves in space. Boy, you guys are on fire tonight. I love it. And Nina says I was not even excited for Avatar to even come to the parks. Just didn't make sense to me. Yeah. I think it didn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people, but I think now that it's here, it seems to
Yeah, it didn't make
people
sense, but
seem to
then
like it.
when we went to that one D23 where they had the Avatar kind of plans and whatever,
Hmm.
that's when I was like, all right, I kind of get it. I can almost liken it to when they brought Star Wars to Disneyland or wherever it
Hmm.
came first.
Yeah.
At the time, it didn't make sense, but now it's like such a staple that even before the acquisition, like between Star Wars and Indiana Jones, we're like, all right.
Mm.
So, in that regard, I can see why they went with James Cameron. I mean, they went with George Lucas, and then Steven Spielberg already kind of has Universal, so
Yeah.
grab them while you can. Yeah, Universal had Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis with Back to the Future, so
Meg says Beastly Kingdom should have happened. I think that's why it was such a divisive land to add because people wanted Beastly Kingdom.
what was Beastly Kingdom?
That would have been like one based on unicorns and dragons and things like that. Because
now,
that was
now I'm
supposed to
like,
be.
I want to see that.
I know, right? They should still do it because if you look at the front, there is a dragon in one of the heads on the thing. And so, at one point, they could easily just slip it in there and,
I mean, they are adding a whole bunch of lands to Disneyland and California Adventure, so
mm-hmm.
one of them has a big volcano.
Yep, exactly.
I
So,
mean, it could happen. I just want a unicorn,
yeah.
or like some of the creatures from like Onward
Mm-hmm.
have that land.
Right. Cryptology and mythological beasts. Yep, for sure.
That sounds awesome. It'd be like the
All right.
closest thing to like a Dungeons and Dragons land.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Lightyear trailer. So they released the Lightyear trailer, and what did you think of it?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for the like, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of confusing. But knowing that it's the movie that Andy would have seen, in theaters or whatever, and then they made toys, and then the
Mhm.
toy is what he has. So that's why it's not, what's his name? Oh my god, Tim Allen doing the
Yeah.
voice. So it's like, like Star Wars. the Han Solo, Luke figures didn't really look like them, kinda,
Right.
right? But those are the toys. Then you get the movie, and this is what this is. So I'm excited to see what it is like, because I don't see a lot of have you ever seen the cartoon that came out, the Lightyear cartoon?
Yeah, the series with
Yeah,
the yeah, I've seen that, and this doesn't look like that, but it looks really cool. Like it looks cool.
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out like, is this supposed to be what he's based on? Because when did we have like moon, cities or whatever it is? Like it seems very technologically advanced for the time
Well,
period.
what I'm looking like, what I think it is almost like Buck Rogers,
Yeah,
right? I think
that's what it looks like.
he
Yeah,
gets, because they slingshot him around the sun. Now, if you go with the Star Trek 4 physics of that, he would have gone through time. And I think if you look at Star Trek, that version of it, he would have gone forward in time. So maybe he goes forward in time,
yeah,
and then, he becomes Buzz Lightyear in the 35th century or whatever Buck Rogers
yeah,
was, 25th
yeah.
century. So maybe it's like that, or he slingshots around the sun and gets to like another galaxy, and then kind of like I mean, it could be a cross between Buck Rogers and oh man, what's that one Mars movie? You know what I'm
Flash
talking?
Gordon,
Not Flash Gordon. It was like it's like based on a really old book. Didn't do well. I think it was also Disney.
John Carter.
Yeah, John Carter, something like that.
Yeah,
It was similar to that, kind of.
yeah, yeah. I can see that. Uh, Good night, Alan and Pete. Thanks for coming.
Good night.
And Val said that the one scene in the trailer looks just like Dagobah. Anyone agree? I was thinking the exact same thing when I saw it. It totally looked like Dagobah, or felt like it. Maybe not looked like it
Right.
exactly, but
That's why it might be he just gets slingshotted to another galaxy. I
yeah.
think.
I think they want to like play off exactly what you're talking about. Star Wars, Buck Rogers, all of these
Yeah.
like great classic uh science fiction films.
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
mean, it looks really, really good. Like it looks good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see it.
I already know I want the ship that he has, like that
Hmm.
version of his ship. I want that. But I hope at the end of it, because we see the suit, his
Hmm.
toy suit. So I'm hoping, I think it's basically it looks like his origin story, right?
Yeah.
Of this ranger, but like I hope we get him in the suit with the wings and the laser thingy, and we see like the hint of Zurg.
Hmm. Buzz is landing on Dagobah.
He finds
Uh,
Yoda, and all of a sudden it all melds together.
it all melts together. Yes. All right, so let's move on to Rich and I now have hot topics that we go through, and these are just stuff that we picked out that we thought would share with you guys. So I'll start off with mine because I have three. But there are reports and rumors about several Marvel Studios films going into production in 2023. So this includes a Thunderbolts film, a Fantastic Four film, a potential Nova project, and a Black Panther spin-off series for Okoye. So, wow, that's going to be a great year
I
for
mean,
all of these projects if they are going through. I mean, like, I would love for them to finally announce that Fantastic Four is coming out. So,
yeah.
these are all like rumors and reports, so take it with a grain of salt, but I thought it was really kind of a fun thing that I wanted to share.
I mean, like if you look at stuff going on in the series and the movies, like all of them make sense.
Yeah.
You know, with whatever's going on with Julia Louis Dreyfus and her whole deal with, and you know, them bringing back William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross
Mm-hmm.
and having Zemo and all those kind of things.
That
It
would be
it
so
points
cool.
to, like, it's almost like the one thing they did not announce would be Young Avengers, but I think that's like a culmination movie. I think that's like the next actual Avengers movie will be, because if you look at it, they haven't announced anything that says Avengers on it yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're waiting to reveal that at some point. But like, it sounds like we're getting the Thunderbolts or something close to that. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Because
Um,
what's her name? Valentina. I forgot. Julia Louis
Louis
Dreyfus
Dreyfus, right?
character. Yeah, and so they've got that going on. Some kind of clandestine, you know, gathering of heroes that are on the more questionable side of the law, and I'm there for it. I'm totally there for it. And
Yeah,
yes, Val, I'm totally there for an Okoye series.
yeah. That we heard rumors of about a little bit ago as well.
Yeah,
The Nova one is something I think I would say ever since we saw the Nova Corps, I think we've all wanted a Nova movie,
it's been going around like
right? But then you
for.
know you add kind of like Adam Warlock into the mix,
Hmm.
maybe.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I think bring Adam Warlock. Hello, Adam Warlock. It's first of all the name, and but I mean he's gonna be there. He's gonna be in the movie. They
it's
cast him.
cast. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Cannot wait to see what happens. I'm so look like 2022,
Hmm.
and you know, with all the Marvel things, but also Star Wars stuff coming out. Like I am there for all of it, and this will be the one year where I'm, you know, for us, how do we manage talking
Hmm.
about it all, right?
Yeah.
But you know, figure it out, and it should be a fun year for movies and TV.
Definitely.
Exciting stuff.
Definitely. All right. So why don't you talk about your first topic?
What is my first topic? Speaking of Star Wars, which, surprise, I'm talking about Star Wars. Um, so we know that Hayden Christensen is in Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, and since Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place before A New Hope and after Revenge of the Sith, probably as Darth Vader of some kind, right? Um, but recently it was announced that Hayden Christensen is also going to be in the Ahsoka
Hmm.
series. We don't know what extent that means, but the Ahsoka series, what's interesting is that that takes place in the Mandalorian era, which is
Yeah.
5 years after Darth Vader dies. So,
Hmm.
spoiler alert: Darth Vader dies at the end of Return of the Jedi. Um, um, so there's a lot of speculation, like what does this mean, right? Obviously, he's not coming back. So is this going to be flashback? Which I would love to see a flashback, like a live action version of Ahsoka and Anakin, and you know, throw in Ewan McGregor in there as their Clone Wars versions of themselves.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing to see. Or, you know, this can now justify in hopefully everyone's minds, the retcon of Return of the Jedi, where at the end you see Obi-Wan Kenobi in ghost form, Yoda in ghost form, and then you see Hayden Christensen because he dies as Anakin Skywalker. He doesn't die
Hmm.
as Darth Vader. And so we might see him as a Force ghost who's communing with
Yeah.
Ahsoka on her quest, whatever quest that is. But but you know, I'm all for Hayden Christensen. I think he is a great actor. It's just, you know, George's strong suit was never really directing dialogue. So
Yeah. Well, that's very exciting. I can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah. I hope he gets like the prequels. As much as I used to bash on them, and if you followed us for a while, I've changed my tune a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and I respect them. Still not my favorite technically, but I understand what he was going for. I understand what it is, and I appreciate them. But like the kids that grew up with the prequels are now adults, and
Mm-hmm.
it's their time. I think that especially like Ahmed Best and his resurgence and the fandom embracing him again is awesome. I think the same's going to happen with Hayden. I think it's going to be awesome to have him embraced again by the Star Wars fandom. You know,
I
so
think it's gonna vindicate like people who love the prequels, who had to
right,
kind of live through all the hatred of it, and for animated show fans that love that era as well.
yeah,
That's where I came to gain more respect for the prequels, was through the animated series.
yep,
So I think that this is going to be like a game changer for that time period. And just the fact that Ahsoka is finally going to be, I mean, I know she was in The Mandalorian, but for one episode, now we're gonna actually get, see her get her due. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Hold on, I just want to look in the chat here.
Nope.
Nina says Hayden Christensen gets a lot of blame for the undeliverable dialogue. Yep, uh, I think that's the problem, was that there was a lot of dialogue that it was just not something natural for people to say. There are a lot of great Star Wars books that help me better appreciate what George was trying to for with the prequels. Uh, and then Val says, "Ugh, the prequels, ugh, ugh, ugh." I always pictured Darth Vader with a much more interesting and involved backstory. True, true. I mean, I agree with that as well. And Thomas says, "Hey, Thomas, how are you?"
Hey.
Says that looks like he came at the right time. And Val said she's a '70s child, but the animated series fills in the prequels that what the prequels didn't explain. I'm exactly the same, Val. I'm a '70s child as well, so
So am I.
um,
70s,
huh?
80s. I'm a 70s,
'70s,
80s
'80s.
kid.
Yes, yes.
But yeah. I mean, like when the prequels came out, I was excited, and then I had the rose-colored glasses on, and then after a while, you kind of dissect it, and you're like, this doesn't make sense, and like whatever. Then you just realize that George's genius is just in vision. I mean, he only directed A New Hope. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Grand Master of Star Wars movies is always Empire, and that was Irvin Kershner. So I think it would have been interesting to see how someone else would have directed the prequels.
Yeah.
I think like dialogue could have been improved. I think like the editing choices could have been different, given that they might not have focused too much on the technical things of like we can do this, we can take piece of this and piece of this and piece of this and put it all in one shot.
Yeah.
And someone could have said, "We can do that. Should we do that?" Right.
Right.
So
We the OG Star Wars fans. Yep.
yeah, but like I hope as much as prequels get hate, like I would suggest really looking at them again with the whole picture, as I
Mm-hmm.
did. Um, especially like the Clone Wars animated series helps a lot with it, and then you kind of see what that whole story is.
Yeah.
Even now, like the Bad Batch, is such a great like connecting story between the two eras. I think.
Mm-hmm. Thom says that New Hope nearly killed George, so I'm still surprised that he directed the prequels. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think by the time the prequels came out, he was the head of the whole thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
in New Hope, he had so many people were just like not believing in it. Even his crew and cast were like, "What is this?" Like they're like
Yeah.
like even like Kenny Baker was saying like this is kind of weird and things. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him in the first place. I think the prequels was more about him having freedom to do
Yeah.
whatever he wanted.
What he wasn't able to do with the first. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he should have stepped back and not taken on everything that an executive producer would do, like
Mm-hmm.
his way of executive producing, where it's just pretty much hands on everything, not just a money person, and let someone else direct. Like I know he wanted other people to direct, but he just took it on himself. I kind of wish he just did.
Welcome, Christopher. Thanks for coming. We love to have new people come in, and we hope that you enjoy the rest of this program. Liana, sorry. Nice to have you as well. Oh, look at this new subscriber, Don
Hello,
Pump.
hello.
Thank you. Wow, there's like a whole
It's like
new,
cavalcade. Like
yeah, a lot of people coming in. Thanks for
join us.
coming. Yeah. All right, let me move to my next subject, which is this is a piece of news that had been out for a while, but because we had scheduling conflicts for the last several weeks, I just wanted to briefly mention it. But Shang-Chi's director, Destin Daniel Cretton, is going to be helming a Disney Plus series based on the graphic novel American Born Chinese. And I have read that graphic novel, and it is so good. And I'm really excited that it is coming to Disney Plus. I don't know if it's going to be animated or live action, but the fact that Shang-Chi's director is in charge of it is amazing.
What's the premise of that?
Yeah.
what's what's the premise of it?
Oh, the premise?
Yeah.
There's like three different films, three different stories going on. Like one is about a kid trying to adjust to life in America. Then the other one is about the Monkey King, the legendary
Okay.
Monkey King, and then the other one kind of ties them together.
Huh.
So it'll be really interesting to see what they do. We have got a lot of new people. I don't know if this is Justin Timberlake. Thanks for joining us, Justin Timberlake. Um, I
Hello,
don't know
everybody.
what's going on here or what, but if you are all new, that's great. Val, thanks for joining us. And yeah, this is very interesting.
Oh, all of a
But
sudden, there's a whole bunch of people here.
new people.
Hello.
Yes.
Welcome to Castles, Capes, and Clones.
Yeah, definitely continue to join us.
Yeah, we're just chatting about.
Different things. This is our weekly live show that we have where we it's basically we talk a lot about the news, but we really like to hear from you guys as well. So if you have an opinion about something, definitely please, mention it in the comments. Would love that.
Yeah. And by news, we mean we talk about everything under Disney. So Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm.
Star Wars, yeah,
You know,
Lucasfilm.
all we ask is just keep it civil.
Yeah,
We're a
exactly.
positive
Yeah,
place.
be positive and know, this is a family show. So that's all we're saying. Uh, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Rich, do you want to talk about Hasbro PulseCon?
Sure. Um, so last weekend, Hasbro, which has the Lucasfilm kind of and Marvel license for toys, had their like a mini convention, online convention where they announced a whole bunch of things. Some of the big like Star Wars things, of course, is the fact that they are releasing a 6-inch figure scale Rancor as their HasLab project. Now, for those unfamiliar, the previous HasLab projects were the Katana, which is Jabba's sail barge, which is like a 4-foot long toy made for the 3 3/4 inch scale figures.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be released sometime in early 2022 is the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian, which again it's like a huge vehicle. And then now we have the Rancor, which is we're like, if you remember the toy from the 80s, that was built for the 3 3/4 inch figures. This Rancor is made for the 6-inch figures, so it's double the size of it. Has a lot more articulation and all those kind of things. So that's the big release from them. I surprisingly have not backed it because Hasbro went crazy with their HasLab stuff. Because I already backed Galactus, and that was a couple $100, and there was another project I knew was coming down the pipe that I wanted more.
Yeah.
Which is not related to Disney, but I did get. They also released a Ghostbusters Proton pack, like a 1-to-1 scale version of the Proton pack, and I backed that because I've always wanted a Ghostbusters Proton pack. So there's that.
Yeah. But who doesn't want one?
Right. Along with that, they did also announce like some other things that's pretty cool, like the Navarro Cantina set, which I'm probably gonna get. Like I've been known to collect. If you watch my unboxings, I usually do the 6-inch figures. It's just getting too expensive, and there's like I don't know where to put them anymore. So I've switched to the vintage collection, which is the 3 3/4 one. So you can see some of them in the back. So I've switched to those so I can display them a little better. So I've pretty much said to myself, I'm only going to get the Black Series figures of the ones I really, 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 really want in that scale.
Yeah.
Right. But so like what they've done with the 3 3/4 square, they have a lot of like play sets like they used to do when I was a kid, right? Like the Death Star, Hoth stuff. But so now they've released the Carbon Freeze Chamber. They've released Jabba's Palace. They've done the Rebel corridor, like in the beginning of A New Hope. And now they've released the Navarro Cantina. What's cool about what they're doing with these is that they are making them modular, so you can put more than one together to make a bigger scene. So it's kind of cool. They did announce that. So at Galaxy's Edge, they sell 3 packs of 6-inch scale figures for. I think there's like a First Order one, or a Resistance one, and a Droid one. So they're going to replace them with a new First Order one, which has Hux, a couple more troopers, and a mouse droid. And then they're having a new droid one with a K2SO type droid in it. And they're also releasing a Creatures pack, which has 2 monkey lizards, a Bogling, 2 Porgs, and a Minoc, which I might have to get.
I know, I might have to get this.
Yeah, because like the previous releases of the monkey lizards, they've just been like you couldn't move them. These are actually articulated, so you can now pose them.
Yeah.
And they have both varieties, the Salacious Crumb looking one and then the blue one that they sell at the parks.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Those will be at Galaxy's Edge, I'm assuming sometime in 2022. Right. And I think they said they might be available on Shop Disney at some point, like they've done before. And then on to Marvel kind of things that they also did. Pay no attention to the Fortnite character in this graphic, but this is the only one I can find that had a whole bunch of people. They have like a anniversary edition of Steve Rogers in the kind of classic comic form, a more classic Wanda, more classic Tony Stark, and Winter Soldier from the flashback scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But the two that I backed were, or I bought, pre-ordered, were they're celebrating the anniversary of the X-Men animated series. So they've released animated version of Wolverine and Jubilee, which is awesome. And then they come in a VHS styled packaging, so it looks like the VHS tapes from. Do you remember back in the day that Pizza Hut used to give out X-Men animated VHS tapes?
Yeah, I kind of remember this.
Yeah, so it's like the same styling as that.
Right.
And I've always wanted Jubilee from the animated series. I figure.
Yeah, I know. She's like one of her faves.
Yeah, and the funny thing about the Wolverine is that he comes with that picture of Jean Grey and Scott from that meme.
Wow.
And they said you can actually take that picture out and replace it with your own if you wanted to mix it up. But yeah, they all come with two different heads. Jubilee comes with a head with her without the glasses, but then they have two different versions of her glasses, and then fireworks and all that kind of stuff. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a fun one to have.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of the big things that came out of the Hasbro PulseCon. I spent quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah, because they also have other IPs that I love. Like Hasbro pretty much owns my childhood. Like all Disney needs to do is buy Hasbro and it's complete. Like
yeah,
it's one-stop shop, but that also means like they'll release stuff, so much stuff that my wallet is just like yelling at me because whatever. Because I bought, like I said, I got the Ghostbusters Proton pack, but then I also got some G.I. Joe stuff and Transformers stuff. So,
hi Stephanie, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Yeah, it's crazy how much stuff there is. But cool stuff that you backed. I like it.
Yeah, I had to hold back because I do want that Wanda. I do want that Captain America.
I know. I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't get one.
But if they didn't release Jubilee and Wolverine, those would be the two I would have got. Mm-hmm. So I had to sit there and go like,
yeah, they are your favorite.
Right. So, as much as I love the Rancor, like I can't justify getting that one. Mm-hmm. Like I got the Razor Crest, so I already gave them a lot of money for that, and
yeah. Well, with the ships, at least you can put them as ships and do
right.
With the Rancor, what are they going to just run away from the Rancor?
Right now, what they haven't done with the Rancor is we don't know what the unlockables are. So usually with the HasLab stuff, it's like almost like a Kickstarter kind of thing, right? Because these are things that they can't really mass produce because they wouldn't sell that many to make a profit. So they do a Kickstarter version where they're like, all right, we'll make this thing. It's super awesome, but only if you back it. And they only make enough for the backers. So once it's done, that's it. That's all we get. Right. I still punch myself for not getting the Jabba sail barge. Mm-hmm. So I got the Razor Crest. But like with the Rancor, I'm like, I don't know where to put it. I don't really, you know what I mean? And I stopped doing the 6-inch stuff really. But they haven't announced what the unlockables are. So at different stages, there could be unlock another thing they give. Like the Razor Crest had and then you get this, and then you get this. If this many backers back it, you unlock this and this and this. Like Galactus, all the different heralds that they released with it were only released because of how many backers they got.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming there's going to be at least one Rancor Keeper figure that comes with it. Maybe Ula. But I'm wondering what else they have planned. So that might change my mind down the line before it goes.
Yeah.
It ends. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't release anything cool.
We'll
watch they do.
All right.
So.
All right. So moving on to my final topic. I had put up on our community tab on YouTube a poll in celebration of Dumbo's 80th anniversary, which was this week. And I asked the question, do you think that Dumbo is an underappreciated film or not? So, and then that I would reveal the results on tonight's show. So, with 25 votes, we had 76% of you said that it is an underappreciated film, while 24% of you said it's not. So, I thought that was very interesting. I voted for it being underappreciated because I just think that people don't appreciate it enough.
I mean, I almost think that it's appreciated as much as a film from that era is. I mean, there's the rides in both park. Well, I only know of Disneyland and Disney World. I'm assuming there might be other ones.
Yeah.
In the other
well,
parks.
Technically, there are 2 rides at Disneyland based on Dumbo. There's Dumbo the Flying Elephant and Casey Jr. Train.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know, they had a film, you know, like everyone harkens back to the scene with, you know, Dumbo and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's still, like, that's when you go to Disneyland, you know, it still has a presence. So, I know it's underappreciated that much compared to
I think I'm thinking of it more as, like, people don't, I don't know, they don't seem to love it as much as I do.
Yeah.
So
you always find a Dumbo plush.
Yeah.
It's always going to be one of the classics that they'll always sell. Whereas, you know, I don't see enough love for Hunchback.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say this is what I do is I go back and I watch some of the older films or films that I don't think get enough love. And it's interesting because, you know, like there are films like, take for instance The Black Cauldron. It took me 50 something years to actually make it through The Black Cauldron. But now I actually enjoy the film.
Oh, really?
So,
I'll have to look at it again.
It's very interesting. You know, it's slow and it's dark, but there is a lot of goodness to it as well. So, you know, like I could definitely, I felt the kind of fantasy film elements of the time in that film. Right. So it does feel a little bit nostalgic.
Was that before Oliver and Company?
Yeah. It was before Great Mouse Detective.
Okay.
So I think it went Black Cauldron, Great Mouse Detective, and then
Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to revisit it, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Like I think I'm in the 20 whatever percent that's thinks it's appreciated, since like there's a lot more films I think that are not appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, The Rescuers, Great Mouse Detective,
Rescuers, yeah,
Oliver and Company. You know,
yeah.
But
yeah. Well, it was a very interesting poll to take for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for everybody who did participate in that poll. All right, well, that is it for this evening, unless you have something else you want to share.
Yeah, I forgot to mention also for the Hasbro thing that they also, so besides PulseCon, they also did a premium member thing, presentation yesterday, where they announced, and how I said like I'm not collecting any more 6-inch figures.
Mm-hmm.
These might be the last two I might get, but they are releasing the rest of the Bad Batch.
Oh,
So
cool.
they have, well, one Bib Fortuna in 6-inch scale, another Stormtrooper from Rogue One, but Omega and the Bad Batch version of Echo are
Mm-hmm.
being released, and I need to complete the Bad Batch. Like those are the last two I don't have,
Yeah,
and they look pretty cool.
that's
Omega,
awesome.
and she comes with that little lizard guy. I can't remember the name of that lizard
Yeah, I
that
know
she
what you're talking
has,
about though.
but she has her bow. I thought it was kind of cool. And she has like a face mask kind of thing, and then Echo comes with like interchangeable arm and
Yeah,
stuff. So
that's very
I will
cool.
have that set at some point.
Right. Very cool.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thank you for all the people who came in and subscribe, new subscribers, and we hope that every Thursday. Although next Thursday,
We are
Rick
not.
and I will probably be watching the Eternals at this
Yes.
time, so we will not have our live next week. But usually, we
Yeah.
have a live on Thursdays, and we have ours right after uh, Tuesday night or Thursday night Wings, which is the show for Pete and Allie show over at Two Tiny Wings, and we love to do that 1-2 punch. So we'd love for you to watch their show and our show. And if you haven't already subscribed, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post as it really does help us out. And with that, we say thank you, and we will see you later.
Yep. Catch y'all on the flip side.